These represent the two latest releases of both respective companies in the basic base model form, the Amazon Kindle Basic and the Kobo Nia. Today we're going to look at reading, PDFs, Glowlight, the store, and a few more things. How do they stack up? Let's check it out. Right away, you see the home screens are pretty different. On the Kobo Nia, you have a top left button that brings you to My Books, Collections, Articles, Store, Activity, Settings, Help, etc. And on the Kindle, you have on the top right corner, there's far less options, but they all show you the same things in the end. We'll just go to settings really quickly and show you what kind of settings we have. We have a lot more on here. We even have overdrive compatibility, and beta features includes a web browser. On the Amazon, you do have wireless options as well, device options, reading options, languages and dictionaries, parental controls, contact us, etc. Both of these devices are very international friendly, so they will both have a lot of language options on them. Like you can see right here with the dictionaries, select your language, and so forth. You will see a variety of languages on both devices. They have 2 columns and they have a scrollable page on the Kindle. The top bar features the Glowlight, Wi-Fi, battery, synchronize, and search, and you have home, back, settings, and store respectively with the search button right there. The reading experience is where it gets a little bit different. They both approach it a little bit of a different way. The Kindle, we must note, is also running double the RAM that the Kobo is, so it's a little bit more responsive. You can see page turns are not too bad on either device. You can tap or you can swipe. Tapping in the center on the Kobo or the top on the Kindle opens up the text options respectively, and we will go here. So it takes a few more steps to get into the text options on the Kindle. You have to go through a few settings, but then you're displayed with this. You have different font styles. You can adjust the page spacing, margins, reading, and some themes. You can watch all the respective reviews on these if you want to see what all those are. You can bold everything on the Kindle, and it's very quick. It's all happens live in the background. You can switch the size as well. On the Kobo, it does take a little bit of time. When you move this font size, you see you can't really do anything till it renders. So it is a little bit of a downside having that lack of memory. You actually do have to wait a significantly long amount of time before it does anything, and it does have a couple hang-ups here and there. If you go to advanced, you will see you have an advanced menu of what things are going to look like before and after. So you can change the line spacing, the weight, the font, face, and you can see what it's going to be before you applied those settings and afterwards. You have justification as well. Adjusting the margins, adjust the side, but you can see when you do the slider bar, you do get a couple hang-ups, so you do have to be a little bit patient. When it comes to long presses, they operate pretty much in the same capacity, and they both take an adequate amount of time to actually bring up the long press. So you have highlight, note, share, and you have a couple more things here, open dictionary and report content error. You also get translation on the Kindle, which is really nice because that means you can translate as much as you want, anytime you want, from any language to any language you see on the drop-down menu here, even something as complex as Chinese, and it does it instantaneously. On the Kobo, you don't have the translation option, but you do have highlight, add note, and you have search. Search gives you search in book, Wikipedia, and Google. Amazon has something that the Kobo does not have, and that is X-ray. X-ray will actually show you people, terms, and images throughout the book, so you can see how many times they're mentioned throughout. You'll see he's mentioned a numerous amount of times. You can click on that passage and you go directly there. This is good when you're juggling many books and then you have 3 characters in this book, another 4 in this book, and you don't know who's who. This will give you a little bit of a refresh. Kobo might not have X-ray, but they do have reading stats or reading statistics. This is really nice because it shows you how far along in a book you are, how long you spent it, how many average pages per minute, etc. So this gives you a little bit of encouragement to keep reading. For avid readers, they will find some use out of this. There's even a award badge system. As you read and do certain things, you get more achievements that you can unlock. You can see that certain ones are full of certain percentages. Because we're conducting this video from our Japan outlet, you do see that our Kindle is connected to amazon.co.jp, so we're littered with a bunch of manga. But it's the same thing whether you connect to your respective country. You'll see a display like this offering recommendations, categories, etc. Now on the Kobo, you do have this really cool carousel once you get into Just For You, so that is pretty nice. Once you click on the final step, this is what your buying decision will look like. Please excuse the Japanese language, but we do have a lot of international audience here at Goody Reader, so not everyone speaks English. So you will see you can download a sample, you can buy the book itself. Everything's on one page on the Kindle. It's all under one group. You just scroll, you have user reviews, etc. On the Kobo, it's more of a tabbed system. So you have pages of synopsis, then you go to the next tab for details, next tab for related, etc. You can download the sample, you can save preview, already read it, not interested, etc. Or you can just buy it right there. These are both 6-inch devices, so you're not going to be running to the shelves to grab this for PDF purposes. In fact, it's much smaller than an average smartphone. So you're not going to read PDFs on these, but if you absolutely had to, this is what it's going to look like. So they both have these same 6-inch screens, and this is a good test because it's real stress test on the device. And you can see the Kindle is actually pretty quick at recognizing inputs a lot better than the Kobo is. When it comes to pinch and zooming, the Kindle is actually very, very snappy, whereas the Kobo is a little bit slower. You both do get a mini map on the top left corner, but the Kindle just kind of keeps up a little bit faster. You do have the ability to long press on the Kindle as well. So if you long press, you can see that on the Kindle you get all the same options you get in a regular book. However, on the Kobo you don't have that option. So the Kindle does have a little bit of a leg up. And why you want this is because you can actually box as much text as you want, like so. Go here, and you actually can translate it to any language you see on the drop-down, just like we did in the book. So basically, any PDF you sideload, you get an instant translation of anything. So it really breaks down those walls of language barriers. The web browser on both of these are experimental over here and beta over here, and they're both in their decade-long generation. So you can see as you scroll around, the Kobo just kind of remains unresponsive to anything you do. The Kindle is actually quite nice. You can do pinch and zooms. It goes into a little faux A2 mode when you're moving things around. You can see that you can navigate around, pinch and zoom. It's a little bit choppy, but it gets the job done. You can scroll, you can see images, everything's just great. On the Kobo, it is just kind of just hangs up, and it is unresponsive at times, and when it does kick in, it takes about 20 seconds, and that's an awful long time to wait for something to load. And you can see right now, as we just got here, this isn't a flat image, this is a working device, and it just kind of remains unresponsive through the beta web browser. So we have this in a particularly dark room. Now on the Kobo, they have a really nice feature. You can actually just scroll the side and it turns the light off and on, which is really nice. On the Kindle, you got to go 3 steps in, and then you can turn the light on. But what we have noticed is if we go to full blast on both of these, you will see that they do have different shades of white. The Kindle is more to this naked eye. It's hard to see on camera, but the Kindle is more stone, whereas this is more white blue. So we do have those differences between the devices. Neither of them have warm lighting from their other counterparts, like the Oasis and the Forma, so they are just with the regular set of LEDs at the bottom like that. They don't have 2 sets here, so you can white balance each respective one. But there's no distribution problem, there's no gray areas, there's no overexposed areas. They're both actually quite nice. Kobo and Amazon have been going head-to-head for a long time. These are both $90 devices around that price point. They both have very similar specs. They're both 6 inches. It just comes down to what you want. Do you want something that is from the Amazon brand or the Kobo Rakuten brand? The Kobo runs EPUB, the Amazon only runs Mobi. Kobo has overdrive support, whereas Amazon has X-ray. So it just really comes down to what you want. We hope this video has shed some light into these 2 beginner devices of what they can and can't do, and what they most certainly have their shortcomings, and they have their high-end kind of feel features. They are both base model devices. For a comparison between the 10th generation Kindle Basic and the Kobo Nia, this is Peter.